opinion, and I stand for learning.
Yo soy Ludovina, represento a la comunidad.
I'm Larry, and I stand for no more damn borders.
The divide came up probably about a year ago when the Sensenbrenner bill was going through Congress, or trying to squeak through Congress, and it was all over the news, was this issue of immigration, and in particular the U.S.-Mexico border. And so it was in the media, it was on our minds, and I'm sitting outside of Lytton Springs and I'm staring at this little barbed wire fence. And I thought, I want to do a clown piece based on a fence line and just trying to get across it. Performance Sonoma was a grant that came our way that we could apply for through the Community Foundation, Sonoma County, and the Arts Council.
And the theme was crossing borders. And they put it out to all the performing arts organizations, whether it's the symphonies or dance companies or theater companies.
We decided to use this idea as the basis of our grant proposal. Let's take this idea of this fence line, this border, this mythological border, and what happens when people are divided and why it happens.
It would be about a border, it would be community-based, it would be bilingual, it would be looking at borders all around the world and within and without.
The room that first day was excited with this feeling of, we can do a bilingual project, it's possible. We had a couple of Spanish only speaking. I mean, that was thrilling. We thought, wow, this is great. We wanted to invite the other half of our town that doesn't always speak the same language.
And we started this process of talking about borders, talking about our relationship with borders, anything in and around that, and from the talking into theater exercises and improvisations, and starting to hone in on what this group in particular wanted to say about borders and how we would create our story.
Indudablemente creo que es una pieza teatral que se está elaborando no a través de un script, sino va haciendo todo, va sucediendo con ideas de la distinta gente que participa en esta obra. Realiza cada quien con una aportación de idea y se va generalizando y vamos tomando parte de toda la problemática que existe.
I think a lot of the things that we put together will also be acted out with emotions, expressions, and movement with music. So I think people will get the idea of what is going on.
Here was a piece that it was just absolutely new and exciting, vibrant with life. And so I knew that the production, even with the glitches, I knew nothing would taint this piece. The process was so exciting.
The talkbacks or the post-show discussions were really the second part of the show. It was like Act 2.
It was something I didn't expect at all. Something that, if anything were to move me more than the actual piece and the process and the performance, it was that. I was brought to tears for at least half of those talkbacks.
Just the experience of hearing people's stories of how much they've suffered to get it into America and to have a dream again it's amazing. It's amazing what people will do because they're desperate. And I mean, I can't thank people enough for telling me their stories because it was like, it's just so eye-lifting.
Esta obra le recuerda a uno muchas cosas por las que las otras personas están pasando, peor que ni nosotros. A nosotros se puede decir, fuimos afortunados porque en el tiempo en que nosotros venimos no estaba tan duro el cruzar la frontera como hoy está.
Usually the audience has questions as mundane as, how did you learn those lines? You know, and that's as far as it goes. Well, here was a talkback that never, ever was at that level. It started up here. It started, you affected me so much. And this is what, you know, that is allowing me to tell you my story. I mean, it was like these profound things going on between what we deem performer and audience.
Yo emigré hace 20 y tantos años y aún recuerdo el dolor de dejar a mis padres atrás, a mis hermanitos que estaban muy pequeños. Se me murieron abuelos allá, ¿verdad? Que no pude ir. Entonces, que quede bien claro que las fronteras son para dividir la hambre de los pobres.
Traditionally, there's been a real divide between the Latino community and the Anglo community in North Sonoma County. And you and the individuals that are part of this production are representatives of both of those communities. And you are the living embodiment of borders coming down. And I congratulate you.
Everybody in the audience kept saying, well, this can't end. You've got to take it to schools, or can it go to Santa Rosa? Can it go to Berkeley? You've got to keep doing this. And we said, you know, it's a miracle that this has happened. It really, truly is a miracle. And yet there is this sentiment of it can't stop, and the cast felt like that. And I know I feel like that. And so I think the great thing is that this is a seed. This is definitely a seed that's going to keep growing.